Hey, welcome to Bluejay Banter. We are live here at Let It Fly. We are every Monday. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Please hit that subscribe and like button. It helps us out a ton. Got a big show for you today. Tim Kruger along with Ross Ferrarini joining me once again, and we're going to jump right into it. One of the newest members of the Jays this year, Jamiya Neal. Jamiya, welcome. Your first of many appearances.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah. We'll have you on every week if you want.
Okay, sounds good to me.
You seem like you have a wonderful sense of humor, by the way.
Yeah, I like to say I'm a good dude.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. We'll work our way through. So tell folks where you grew up. And
I grew up in Toledo, Ohio. It's not that far from here. It's about a 2-hour plane ride. Grew up only child for the most part. I liked it. I was spoiled. I got whatever I wanted. So, only played basketball. I knew that was a sport for me from the time I was little. Never tried nothing else. So that's pretty much it.
All right. And you went down to prep school for a year down in Arizona, right?
Yep.
Is it in Tempe or Mesa?
It's more the Mesa area.
Mesa area. Okay. And that's where Coach Hurley and his staff kind of saw you down there, right? Began recruiting you?
Yeah, I was actually playing in a Pangos event, trying to play in a real Pangos event. So they told me to play a game, and his son, Lil Bobby, was on my team. So he got to come. It was a dead period, but he got to come to the game, and I did really good. I had a really good game, and he offered me right after the game, and he started recruiting me really hard. So
nice. Did you consider any other programs, or how was that your recruitment process?
The recruitment process is kind of annoying because it's like I like to think of it as like you gotta think of it kind of like how you pick your girlfriend. You don't just go for the prettiest one or the one who's telling you what you want to hear, but the one who's telling you what you need to hear and who's going to be the best for you and that type of stuff. So I was kind of torn between wanting to stay out there and come closer to home. So that was probably the biggest thing with going there. But other than that, the recruiting process was pretty all right. I talked to some schools on both sides of the country, but ultimately I chose Arizona State.
Nice. How did you enjoy your time at Arizona State?
It was pretty fun. I liked the weather. I liked the school.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was a good experience, but I'm happy to be here now, and I'm happy that's in my rearview mirror now, and I'm always appreciative for what we did there and how they treated me and that type of stuff.
So I think it was the last time Creighton played down there because we had two home and homes with Arizona State. I think it was the last time we played down there. We went down there and did our post-game show live from the arena. So the thing we were most excited about before the game, we went and interviewed the guys who do the curtain of distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that don't know, they have a curtain behind the basket trying to distract the other team when they shoot free throws. First of all, just what's your opinion? How do you like it? Do the players do you guys ever look at it or like?
Yeah, I loved it. During the game, I didn't look that many times. I've seen it get crazy. I looked one time because they were over there acting like they were giving birth to a baby. So I was looking like, what? And the dude missed a free throw, so it was kind of funny. But I love it. It's a part of the culture over there, and everybody buys into it. So that's the fun thing about it.
Well, it's great on ESPN. They split the screen every time there's a free throw to show what's going on there and what's going on with the free throw. So it's awesome. My son, as I told you earlier, he lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've said this many times, like uniquely, he's probably one of the few guys that watch every Arizona State game and every Creighton game. And he said when he found out you were coming here, he said, "Oh man, you got a good one there." He said that he felt like one of your strengths was that you were able to create a lot of mismatches. Did you kind of feel like that with your size, like smaller guys you were able to take in, bigger guys you were quick enough to go around?
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the best parts of my game is my versatility, being able to just not do one thing great, but everything pretty good. So, yeah, kind of a mismatch problem with it. If you're too small, then I can go to the paint. But if you're too big, then fast enough to get around you. So I agree with your son.
Yeah. And so you were down there. You went into the portal. Talk about the recruitment by Creighton to come up here.
They called. I was surprised. I was like, Creighton calling me? The way we played over there, obviously the way they play here. I'm like, well, I loved it. So they called me, and we talked. We had some good conversations. They talked to my parents and my circle, and then we booked the visit. right from the visit, I pretty much knew, like, yeah, this is where I want to be, just because of everything. You know, it's top notch here. I don't think a lot of people know exactly what's going on over here, but it's a reason why they are where they've been for so many years, and you could tell right away.
What was your impressions of first the campus?
The campus, I liked it because it's pretty small. I'm used to like a big old campus with so many people, especially where Arizona State having 80,000 kids. You know, it's like a party every day. It's crazy. Just going to class. So here, I like the campus. It gives me more like an old-fashioned feel, like a real university type feel to it. So I like the campus. I like the facilities. Love the facilities.
They're top notch, aren't they?
As good as it gets.
Yeah.
And what about the city of Omaha? I know you said it was different than you expected.
Yeah, obviously the stereotype is cornfields and nothing's here is crazy, but it's a lot of stuff here, especially being downtown. You get to see different things and the people and everybody out, and it's stuff to do, and it's just nothing like you would thought it would be.
Yeah, there's probably areas of Omaha remind me a little bit of Old Town down there, you know, and
for sure.
areas and things like that, yeah. So you got here, you knew, you know, the pieces that left last year and the pieces that were going to be here, obviously, and the fact that 3 or 4 are Sweet 16s, and so that's kind of like the benchmark now. When you got here to practice, what was the first couple of things that really stood out to you about the players you were playing with?
I just how everything ran just so smoothly. It's a reason, like I said, it's a reason why they are where they are today. The practices just run the right way. Everybody does what they're supposed to do. It's no egos, no personalities. Everybody's just playing the right brand of basketball and wants to get better. And that's probably the biggest thing that I picked up right away.
Yeah. That's probably, I mean, that's for a guy coming in, that's got to be a pretty nice thing for you to realize. You come in and you're like, wow, I can, you know, kind of just play the game the right way and try and integrate myself. What's been one thing that, you know, now that we've, you know, basically through the whole summer here and you've had a number of practices and workouts and stuff, what's one thing that you've kind of thought, I need to get a little bit more consistent at this to elevate my game?
Well, obviously shooting. I think that's the biggest question mark that everybody has right now, and I can shoot, but obviously I know I have to get better at little things, and that's probably one of the biggest things that I've been working on this summer, just getting my feet work right, getting set, because obviously when I'm balanced and set, it's going to go in, I feel like. Also just getting better shots, shot selection, stuff like that. So that's what I've been working on the most this summer. Consistency,
maybe, you know, I mean, I would imagine, and just our playing style here too, you'll probably get a lot more just catch and shoot looks from three too, instead of, you know, hard ones off the dribble or hard ones, you know, coming off of ball screens and off balance and whatnot.
Absolutely. I think that's where my percentages dropped a lot last year. Just the way we play there and the way we play here is just totally different, and that's a majority of the reason why I chose to come here. I like the brand of basketball that we play. I don't have to really just try to stick out. I just try to fit. I just came in here and fit in to a mode that's already there for me. I don't have to try to do anything else or try to do too much. I just need to do what they tell me to do, and I'll be successful.
Sure.
Yeah. We're talking with Jamiya Neal, transfer here from Arizona State, the newest, one of the newest Jays. I want to tell you folks something about shooting with this guy, okay? I was at practice last week. He can fill it up, okay? Now, I know one practice, you can't, you know, you got to see a bunch of them. But, yeah, I was very impressed. That's one thing that jumped out at me when people said, hey, what did you see at the practice? I said the first thing was, Mr. Neal can shoot the basketball pretty well.
Yeah, I can shoot. Can shoot. We'll say that.
The day I was there, too, I have to say, you know, Max always, you know, in these summer workouts, he's always like, okay, yeah, we're trying to put in the defense, and it's taking time, and I got to say, that was probably the most intense defensive practice that I saw during the summer that I've ever seen. I mean, you guys were really going at it, and it seemed like everybody was picking up the concept fairly quickly.
Yeah, I think with the help from the returners and obviously me and Pop coming in, not as young guys, but as upperclassmen, just knowing stuff, we're picking up stuff very quick. And the freshmen are doing a great job just listening and just watching and then doing the same thing. So, yeah, it definitely gets intense in there because I think we all know, obviously, what they just lost with Trey and Baylor going to the NBA and what shoes that we all have to fill. And it's just not going to be one of us, but it's going to be everybody.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. They left, so obviously that's a spot for you, right, among other people. Let's talk about some of the other people that are here right now. Pop's been recovering from surgery. How's he doing?
Pop's been playing the last couple of weeks, and it's been pretty fun. Just never playing with Pop before, and he's just a good guy on and off the court. I like how he plays. He can shoot, space the floor. He's unselfish. He's small, but he got some grit to him. You know, you're not gonna just punk Pop. He came from the Big 12. That's a big, strong, aggressive conference, so he knows how to play basketball.
Well, somebody asked me, what would you 1 or 2 words describe? I always said a dog, man. He's ferocious on defense. He gets downhill on offense. Can create a lot of things, like you said. Speaking of a guy who has a lot of length, a freshman, Larry Johnson. What's been your impression of him?
Yeah, Larry's just a pure hooper. Pure as hoopers as they come. I love Larry. He goes hard. He listens. He does what he's supposed to do. He's still learning. He has a lot of ways to go. But I think if he can figure it out, everything is mental. As a freshman, you learn that basketball is more mental than you think.
Yeah, you're taking in a lot of information. Yeah.
Exactly. And once he gets that learning curve, he's going to be great.
Yeah. Now, a guy that's kind of going to take over kind of a real leadership jump this year is Stephen Ashworth.
Yeah, Stephen, he's a dad, so obviously we all like his sons at this point. But yeah, Stephen's great. I love playing with him too. He's just the ultimate leader, the ultimate point guard. He knows where everybody's supposed to be, and he helps you out. He's not the one that's going to chew you out and, you should have did that. But he's more the, okay, you did this, and this is why you should have did it, or this is why you need to do it. And he's that type of guy, and that's good to have because, like you said, we are new and we are trying to learn. With him helping us and coaches, that makes it even better.
Right. How about the other two young guys, Ty and Jackson?
Ty and Jackson, they work their butts off. They come in there with a great attitude. They're good locker room guys. They play the right way. They don't force anything. They're just trying to be there and get better every day, and I love that.
Jackson can kind of shoot it, can he?
Jackson can for sure shoot it. If it's one thing he can't do, he can shoot it.
Yeah.
He's way taller than I thought he was going to be. He's like
he is
tall. He is tall.
He is like, it kind of stuns you at first when you're like, whoa, I did not realize he's that big.
Yeah, he's a real 6'10".
Yeah.
Ty, I thought Ty was a little shorter too. He's about 6'4".
Yeah, he's 6'4", 6'5".
That's a good size at the point guard, especially how he can pass. Ty, I don't know if he told you this, but he does everything. He does everything with his left hand, but he shoots right-handed, so it's kind of weird that he could do everything. So I like that because he could pass it to you with the left.
Left-handed and all that stuff. Yeah.
So he throws good left-hand passes and good right-hand passes. So I like that.
That's nice. Jamiya, what do you think about the non-conference schedule is already out? It's a pretty darn good schedule. You got Kansas coming in here. You guys are going to Alabama. You're playing Nebraska here, going to Vegas and playing Oregon and some of those other schools. What do you think about the schedule so far?
Yeah, it's battle tested. We're gonna be battle tested for sure. I think we'll see what we're made of early with this schedule, and obviously, if we want to get to the goals at the end of the season, we have to get through some of these teams. So it's good to play them early and kind of find out who we are in those type of situations to be prepared for whatever comes later.
So you're in the Pac-12, which is no longer the Pac-12. Name 2 of your favorite road trips in the Pac-12?
Definitely going down to Arizona. I like the McHale Center. I like what they got going on.
That's
down
a
there.
Wicked rivalry there.
Yeah, and it gets really loud in there. And we went in there and won one time, so that was pretty good. Another one, a road game, maybe Utah. I like going to Utah. Every time we went there, we went to a nice cheesecake factory before the game. They got like a real bowl. The arena's like a real bowl, so it's like cinched in. So I like, and they got really good rims, and we never lose there. So I like it.
I've been to their arena. They used to have NCAA tournaments there, regionals, and their arena in about, I don't know, Wyoming's that way. There's a bunch of arenas that were all built in that same year or two, and they were all
Wichita
built.
State.
They're all built the same way. That kind of oval and the stands. Yeah,
and it just drops.
Yeah,
right. It's like you looking up for days. Like, dang. But I like it though.
Yeah. Well, it had to be fun playing Pauley Pavilion, no?
I got a hot take. I'm really not a good fan. I'm not a big fan of it.
They don't get great crowds.
Yeah, and it's just you're just too far. Like, it's just the court, and then it's a whole bunch of space both ways, and then it's the people.
Now, did you go out after they renovated it? Because they renovate it? They changed it.
I'm not sure.
Oh, that might have been. Yeah, maybe you didn't go there. Okay.
The 3 years I went, I don't know. It's like
it does look weird on TV. I remember back in the Bill Walton days when he played there, he would leave the floor and it'd be running for an hour to get to the locker room.
Yeah, it's crazy in there. It is cool to look up and see like all the banners and all the people
history.
there. Yeah, like that's the cool part. But other than that, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But
But a guy that played the Pac-12, how do you feel about the whole thing breaking up?
I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. I didn't see it coming, but I mean, it is what it is. I think it's good that people get to expand and play some different people, and also that people that are from this side of the country can now, get to be closer to their home and see see family and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be a Oregon though or a USC flying all the way to Rutgers on a Thursday night with a final due. So
or if you're Oregon State or Washington State and you get left out, and now they gotta I think, are they playing in the Mountain West?
They're
still
I think
the
they're
Pac-12, I think.
Yeah, their football is all playing Mountain West schools, but they're still themselves. And
I know that they're still technically the Pac-12 with those two, but like, are the basketball teams, are they going to play like Mountain West schedules?
I don't know. I think they're going to play some non-conference games with Mountain West, but I know football they're playing almost the full Mountain West schedule.
Interesting.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, for sure.
So what else? What are you majoring in?
Communications.
All right. Well, here you go.
Starting early, right?
What's your favorite thing to do in Omaha when you're not on campus?
I like to go see movies. I might go see the new Deadpool today.
Oh,
that's
there we go.
hobby. I'm a big movie guy. I like to go see movies. I like to watch movies.
There you go.
So that's my hobby.
Jamiya, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. You're going to be back. I like this guy. I like the way.
Good personality, man.
I'll be back.
Good personality.
Talking to movies. There we go. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And he was sponsored, his appearance today, by Infusion Brewing Company right here in Omaha. Big sponsors of Bluejay Banter. They've been tremendous sponsors of our golf tournament. They gave away tons of stuff here for the golf tournament over the weekend, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And two great locations up in Benson, and then their tasting room down in La Vista. Check out all their great beers. Saw a bunch of them. They've got like a Dreamsicle orange one now that's delicious. They've got a couple that they suggested mixing and matching, which are great. And I'm a big fan of that pickle beer, I'm just telling you. And, of course, they're the home of the Let It Fly beer, prominently displayed right here at the Let It Fly Sports Bar in downtown Omaha. So check them out. That's Infusion Brewing Company. We thank everything Ryan and the crew do for us there. I like Jamiya a lot.
Yeah, fun personality, no doubt.
I can see why he's in communications.
Yeah, he should be fun to watch him. I everybody kind of talks about his athleticism, and you see him when he stands up. He's a lengthy kid. He should be able to be really effective on the defensive end of the floor, I would imagine.
Yes, and he, in the practice times too, he can, like, you can tell he almost has to hold himself back because he knows he can get a shot against different types of players.
Yeah, athletic,
because he's so tall
and has the range.
Yeah, but he's quick enough to get by. The bigger guys too.
It was interesting to listen to him, and for anybody that's ever actually been to a Coach McDermott practice will obviously tell you this, but it was nice to hear from him. He was like, man, this is a huge difference from what I'm used to. Everything is, the practices are so efficient and got really no wasted time or energy, and kind of likes how the play style and how we do things here, because they've had some success at Arizona State. They haven't quite gotten over any sort of hump in the Coach Hurley era. I mean, for those who watch consistently, they play a little bit more of a freewheeling kind of style. There's not near as much discipline, I guess I would say, on the offensive end of the floor. He lets some of these guys take some. I would characterize it as interesting shot selection from time to time, but they've had a lot of really talented guys there throughout the past number of years. So, and he was certainly one of them.
That's one thing. Next time we get him, I want to ask him. But what's the most interesting rant you saw Bobby Hurley go through?
Because he's probably got some good ones.
There's been some good ones. But we want to thank Jamiya for being here. Really appreciate that. Give us an update. They're going to practice this week, and then I think they're heading home. They're taking a break until school starts.
Yeah,
so good for them.
Going to be August. End of the week here. So I think Coach McDermott feels real strong. I spoke to him actually after our show last week, and
he said that, he's real happy about the progress they're making so far, especially integrating these new pieces and the fact that Pop wasn't ready to play right away and all the things that go with it. But as I said, I guess we haven't been together since I went to the practice. But I was really impressed with Fred. I mean,
Good.
he was really working hard and got a lot of kudos from the coaching staff on some of the things he was doing out there. Really playing really hard, and I really like that. I was impressed with Jamiya's shooting. I didn't know that he was the shooter he was. The day I was there, he was making a lot of shots. And, but just the defensive drills that they did, wow. I mean, if we play with that kind of defensive intensity, like they would kind of mix and match 5-on-5s. And, I mean, whoever was on the offense end was having trouble scoring, which was really impressive. If you're looking at defense,
if I would, I mean, it probably goes without saying you lose two guys of that offensive talent as Trey Alexander and Baylor Shireman, unless you've got some serious NBA caliber guys waiting in the wings to take over the reins offensively. You might most programs are going to take a little bit of a step back offensively, and so I'm not sure if that will be the case with this team, but I do know that this team, or at least I think I should say, that this team might be much better defensively. And for a program that's actually been pretty darn good defensively the past number of years, I mean, I think we could even see them take another step forward in that direction this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I was just blown away by their defensive intensity and their defensive drills, and everybody seemed to know where to be. And the different call-outs on the switches and so forth. I was really impressed with that. But anyway, they'll be here the rest of the week, and then, then it'll be time for volleyball to kick going and soccer to get going on both the men's and women's side. So we're into the fall sports season, even though it doesn't feel like it today. We played in the golf tournament this weekend, rousing success. I want to thank everybody that signed up and played. We had a full field, and then we came down here to let it fly, had a meal. Coach Murph spoke for a little bit, and then we just gave away tons of stuff and had tons of silent auction winners. And how did you enjoy it?
Yeah, we had a blast. I played with Coach Murfeld, a couple other buddies. We had a blast. We talked a lot of hoops. For those that don't know, and most fans know this at this point, Coach Murfeld was a Division I head coach for, about a decade. I mean, he was originally at Hampton, and then he was a head coach at Evansville for a long time. So we had some fun talking old Valley hoops and different guys that came through the Valley back in the day and different arenas. And we had just a bunch of fun talking about that stuff. I got to shout out Let It Fly, an unbelievable chocolate chip cookie here at Let It Fly.
Everybody is raving about them.
They're very, very good. I thought they had just kind of the perfect crispness, but yet just soft inside with the chocolate chips.
Some people said they got them right when they
good.
came out.
Yes.
And they were kind of a little warm, and they said, oh, God, they were just fabulous. So.
I have no clue if they're even on the actual menu or not.
But we had them here for the golf tournament.
Val says they're not on the actual menu. But.
So, hey, too bad. But, hey, they stepped up for the golf tournament. So had you signed up, you could have got one of these wonderful cookies that Ross devoured. But, yeah, great food, and we had a great time here at Let It Fly and a great time at the golf tournament.
It wasn't too hot. I mean, it got kind of toasty by the very end.
But the morning was pretty nice.
The morning was nice.
Teed off. Yeah, it was pretty nice. I know people were complaining about the 8 o'clock. I'm like, you're going to be thanking me about noon.
Yep. I agree.
So I want to thank everybody. A rousing success, our biggest one ever. So appreciate all of our wonderful sponsors. And I just want to call out a few of them. Obviously, the sponsors that sponsored this show, Infusion Brewing Company, Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Doug Nodgard and his staff do such a wonderful job. 2 great locations, one on Pierce Street and one just north of the Schwab headquarters. Doug's been with us for a long time and has been is a huge Jay supporter. Doug actually won the second flight, his group did.
Nice.
And his son won the long putt for the resort stay, seven-day resort stay. So congratulations to them. But fabulous, and they've been great supporters of ours, and they do take banking personally, and they do answer the phone on the first ring. They're the Bank of Bluejay Banter. Check them out. That's Equitable Bank. And also West Pacific Dental Group. Dr. Robert Hogan and his staff do such a marvelous job. They're my dentist. They've been big supporters. We're big supporters of the golf tournament as well. Dr. Hogan was here and played. So check them out. That's West Pacific Dental Group. A couple of the guys who stepped up this year too. Matt Rasmussen over at Nebraska Realty was one of our key sponsors. Can't thank Matt enough. He came down, had something to eat, and bid on some silent auction items, which he won. So we want to thank Matt a ton. Also, Care Miners Home Healthcare. You've heard them be a sponsor of our post-game show last year. Probably will again this year. They do such a terrific job, and they really support us, and they support our golf tournament as well. So we want to thank them. And then, of course, Al Lopez and the whole staff here at Let It Fly. What a fabulous job. Thank you so much for allowing us to come in here when you had the Olympics going on. A lot of people wanted to watch that, and yet take over your bar and have our whole post-tournament party right here at Let It Fly. And, of course, we look forward to many of those other parties as the basketball season rolls along. By the way, so we give away tickets and different game packages and so forth. And the one I give away too is somebody takes 2 of my tickets, goes to the game. We come down here and have a meal. He already texted me and said, "I'll take Kansas." I said, well, it's not a real shock because we were limited on some of the games we could offer on some of the other ticket packages. So I kind of left mine wide open, like, okay, pick whatever game you want. And he jumped on Kansas. Smart dude.
Smart.
And so thanks to all who bid on stuff too. It was a madhouse down there as we were trying to close out. People were just swarming up there trying to up their bids. So it was great. Well, what else you know? What else you know about? Have you been watching any of the TBT thing?
You know what? I actually have not really, and I
know Louisville and Kentucky.
Yeah, they're supposed to play tonight.
Yeah.
I usually watch a little bit of that, and I haven't been. I've been pretty locked in on actually Olympic basketball, which has been a lot of fun to watch. It's the most NBA players that they've ever had in an international basketball competition. So that's been a ton of fun. Really, we were kind of talking about it before we came on air a little bit with Jamiya. Bizarre that Jason Tatum, who is an All-Pro, couldn't get on the floor yesterday for Team USA against Serbia. Nikola Jokic in Serbia. So that's been certainly kind of a topic of conversation in the sports news cycle. But we'll see what kind of happens going forward from there. But it's really sort of amazing. I mean, LeBron James is about to turn 40 and had nearly a triple-double yesterday. And Kevin Durant, had been hurt and hadn't really been practicing, comes off the bench and scores, 25-ish. I can't remember what the official number was, but couldn't miss. I mean, those guys have been doing it for so long. It's just amazing to still see them kind of compete at those high levels.
Yeah. My wife, who you think would be more locked into basketball since I watch so much, she says to me the other day, LeBron James is on the Olympic team? Why? Isn't he really old? I go,
yeah, but he's LeBron
correct.
James.
But he's still one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, though. I mean, everybody kind of always expects Team USA to just waltz through at the Olympics anymore, and it's really sort of been that there's been a couple of close games that they've had over the past number of Olympics, but for the most part, it's really they really beat everybody by a decent sized margin. But I don't know that that'll be the case once we really get into the thick of things. Come medal play. Some of these countries have some really, really good players. I mean, you look at France with Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert and Evan Fournier and just a whole host of NBA players. And then Germany's got the Wagner brothers, Dennis Schroeder, just a whole bunch of other guys. Australia would be another. Spain would be another. Canada is probably the most talented team outside of us with, probably 10, 11, 12 NBA guys. So it's going to be
Ryan
fun.
Nembhard's brothers on the team.
Ryan Nembhard's brother, Andrew, plays for Canada. Yep. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jamal Murray, RJ Barrett. They've got some talented guys.
Yeah. And then we should mention Taryn Cloth won her first sand volleyball match Saturday. So
exciting.
There'll be many more this week. So be on the lookout for that. That's kind of exciting to have a Creighton alumni. I saw Coach Booth is there in Paris.
Yeah, as she should be. Duncan McGuire's played a little bit, hasn't he? I think for Team USA Soccer.
I could not tell you. I have not seen the soccer.
I could have sworn he played a decent amount in the first game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the update there. I want to ask you, we haven't really had a chance to talk about the non-conference schedule. So let's start with this. What game away from home are you most looking forward to?
Well, it's got to be Alabama, obviously. I mean, I think we could probably maybe more accurately answer that once the conference schedule comes out.
Well, sure. I mean,
but yeah, as
no,
of
I'm
right,
talking non-conference.
as of right now, I mean, at Alabama is the one that sticks out. Right before Christmas, and they're supposed to be, a lot of circles, they're the preseason number one team in the country. So we'll see how that actually shakes out and how they're going to end up being. But that's going to be a ton of fun. And then you got the Vegas deal, obviously, which will be good. I don't know that we're traveling anywhere else in non-conference.
No,
everyone else is coming here.
Yeah. I mean, I got it. That Oregon's game is going to be really tough because they're going to be loaded after that NCAA tournament game.
Yeah.
They're going to be really fired up to play us. So that's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Obviously, home games. I mean, obviously everybody's looking toward Kansas. I mean, that's.
I am kind of curious, and we talked about this Saturday at golf. If there's going to be a decent amount of Kansas fans at that game, I would imagine that there is.
Oh, yeah.
I would hope that they're not. A lot of them are not going to get great
There's
seats.
Tons of Kansas fans here in the Omaha area.
There are. There's just a harsh reality. So I'm curious how that's going to end up playing out.
Oh yeah, there'll be a big contingent of Kansas fans, but yeah, I mean, I just can't wait for these games. It's just going to be.
I would love to get. It was a great game. I mean, it really was a fantastic game. We played there during COVID.
Oh, it was.
Unfortunately, played there during COVID. I would love to get down there again and a normal atmosphere and see that whole deal.
Have you been to a normal game down there?
Yeah, I have not.
Yeah.
Which it's very much on the bucket list.
So my son Heath, who he went to one game down there, and then after that, every year asked for Christmas tickets to a Kansas game, and every year he's gone down to one.
Yep.
He just absolutely can't say enough about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think pound for pound, everybody kind of respects it as the top atmosphere in college basketball, especially for a big game. So it would be a blast to get down there at some point. Yeah, I would imagine that's probably going to be the top atmosphere that we have all year, unless we see a really, really good UConn team come in here on a Saturday or something. That could be one that maybe upends that, or maybe a really, really, really good Marquette team that comes in here on a weekend. But
it is KU. They've been, they're so close to us that like we said, a lot of KU fans here. So I think that'll be it. We had Mr. Neal here, so I want to kind of shift gears to that a little bit. So how do you think the two? I guess we can include the one on this too. The 1, 2, and 3 are going to shake out.
Obviously, Steven is going to obviously continue his reigns as the point guard, I would imagine. I mean, we have an interesting system in the fact that Trey
positionless.
Trey Baylor and Steven were, kind of all one and the same at some point. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, Steven was the point guard. I mean, when you need to initiate offense in the half court, he was the guy to do so. So I would imagine, obviously, Steven again at the 1. God, that's a good question though on those other positions. I really don't know, and I don't. I haven't been.
Well,
I haven't been.
Isaacs,
I haven't been at practice. I don't know what those guys are thinking.
Sure that we'll probably go Steven Pop. I mean, I can't see one of them sitting on the bench. They're both going to start, I would think. Now, are they going to play 35 minutes, 30, 25? Who knows? Okay, but that's and again, there's interchangeable. Pop can move over to point guard, and we can do all kinds of things like that.
Yep.
I certainly think Jamiya is going to be in the mix for that other spot.
I would think so.
How quickly a guy like Larry Johnson develops, will be certainly in the mode too, and then a kid like Jackson McAndrews, that 4 spot is so full right now. Can he play some 3, and does he have the quickness to guard a 3?
Yeah,
but again.
We've heard good things. We've heard good things about Ty Davis too.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Well, another guy who could maybe, do a thing like play 3 on offense, 3 on defense, 4 on offense. Jason Green.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he could defend a 3. Or at least getting close to that.
Yeah, we haven't seen, I don't think, enough, and through no fault of his own, really.
He's just so athletic.
Jason came on kind of end of the year off the bench as a 4. We haven't seen enough of his offensive prowess, I think, to comfortably say where he could fit in offensively, and if he's comfortable playing a wing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how it all plays out. To be completely honest with you, I'm glad you said that. As far as the 5 is concerned, that you saw some good things from Fred. I mean, hopefully Fred can be much more comfortable, and we're able to play him more confidently this year and not play Kalk maybe near as many minutes in that regard.
And we're going to have great competition at the 4.
And obviously you want Kalk on the floor as much as you can afford him to be on the floor.
But I think he needs to be off the floor a little more than he was last year. I think he needs to be more effective. The problem, like I told somebody the other day, the problem with Kalk is, for a big guy, 7'1", he doesn't foul. A lot of your times your big guys get into foul trouble. A lot of times you're forced to sit your big guy because they're in foul trouble. Yeah, and Kalk is so good at not fouling, and he's such an elite shot blocker. But yeah, it's you could tell at times, especially when we get into some pace with different teams. I mean, you can see some fatigue there at the end of these long stretches that he's in. So if you can have somebody like Fred King really come along and spell him for a few minutes at a time here each half, that would be nice. And I know sometimes people get, we have so many guys, and who's not going to play, and somebody's going to get upset. Look, every year this we say this at the beginning of the year, and every year at some point we're at some position we're like, man, we're a little thin here because of an injury or what have you.
Well, not only that, it's like every team. And every team in the country deals with that. Of like, is there going to be an odd man out? And then it always kind of ends up playing itself out. Yeah. And it's just the unfortunate reality of college hoops is there are going to be 1 or 2 guys each year that just, for whatever reason, can't seem to get themselves on the floor. They're just not doing all the right things. They're just not producing. And that's every single program in America. Some of those things play out, like you said, with injuries and whatnot. But it is what it is. You gotta play your horses.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we hope you enjoyed our show. We hope your discussion with Jamiya and Neal. We did, that's for sure. Again, hit that subscribe and like button. It really helps us out. We'll be back next week. We're gonna test Ross's knowledge of Creighton Bluejay basketball trivia next week.
It's pretty darn good.
So okay, all right. Now there's the challenge has been accepted right here. So we're gonna see how much Ross knows. All right, thanks, folks. We really appreciate it. Stay cool, drink a lot of water, and we'll see you back here next week.